Hey everyone, and welcome to my very first Q&A. First of all, thank you so much to everyone who left questions under my community post. I honestly didn't expect so many of you to join in, and reading all of your comments made me really happy. Today I want to answer as many questions as I can, but I also want this video to help you get to know me a little better. I'll talk about why I started this channel, what inspired me to become a VTuber, what my goals are, and hopefully by the end of this video you understand me a little more as a person. And please remember, if I didn't read one of your questions, means that you probably wrote them already a little too late and I finished recording this video. But don't worry, because I plan to make more Q&As in the future, so if I didn't answer your question this time, just leave your question again for the next video. Alright, now let's get started. Okay guys, and before we start, just one disclaimer. I will use shorter versions of your usernames because I just don't want to butcher your names, okay? Okay, so the first question comes from Samuel, who asked, what was your inspiration to become a VTuber? And I have to say, this is probably my favorite question because it's really where everything started. My VTuber journey began after I discovered Iron Mouse. I learned about her story, about everything she's been through, and about the amazing things that she has accomplished together with Connor and so many other friends. What impressed me the most wasn't just how incredible her singing voice is or how entertaining she is, it was her strength. Despite living with a serious illness that keeps her at home most of the time and often leaves her bedridden, she still manages to make millions of people smile every single day. And honestly, I admire that. Instead of focusing on what she can't do, she focuses on everything she still can do, and I think that's an incredible way to look at life. Now, after discovering her, I became very interested, you can say fascinated by VTubers. I wanted to understand how they work, how all of the technology surrounding them works, how people create, how they make what they make. And before I knew, I had completely fallen in love with VTubing. If ever I have the chance to meet Iron Mouse one day, the first thing I want to say is thank you. Thank you for inspiring me into creating what I do now. Now, she doesn't even realize this, right? But she is, I would say, the main reason why I do what I do now and why this channel even came to exist. Maybe one day she'll notice this channel, maybe she'll notice me, maybe one day we'll have the chance to talk. For now it's just a dream, and I know that I'm too irrelevant even for her to try and communicate with me. You know, I'm not ignorant in that. I know that my channel needs to grow much bigger for her to even notice me. Now I would like to answer a question from Billy. Now, first of all, Billy, thank you so much for leaving such detailed comments. It really means a lot, and by the way, if I shorten some of your usernames during the video, it's only because I don't want to completely butcher them. So Billy asked, how did you come up with the name Zulu VTube? Now actually, Zulu comes from the nickname Zulandin. I got that nickname all the way back from about 2007, and that was during World of Warcraft: The Burning Crusade. And in that game I played as a rogue Darkspear troll, and my name was there Zulandin. So back then I met a friend in game who started calling me Zulu for short, and somehow it just stuck to me and I really liked it. Since then almost everyone I've met online has called me Zulu. Over the years it became part of who I am online. When I decided to become a VTuber, using Zulu just felt natural for me. It's short, easy to remember, easy to pronounce, and I think it fits the channel really well. Billy also asked, what inspired the wolf team? So ever since I was little, I loved dogs, and I had 2 dogs in my life, and I really hope that one day I'll be able to have another one. Right now my home and financial situation doesn't really allow me to have a dog, so it's just a dream for now. But I think that you are wondering, what does that have to do with wolves? Well, wolves are the ancestors of dogs. I've always loved wolves and wolf-like breeds. There's just something fascinating about them. For me, a wolf represents loyalty, resistance, courage, independence, leadership, and protecting their own pack. So those are some of the qualities that I also try to live by myself. Life isn't always easy, but I want to keep moving forward, just like a wolf surviving through difficult times. Now, from a practical side, the wolf design is also much easier for me to create in programs like Vroid compared to some of the incredibly detailed VTuber models out there. So it all ended up being a perfect fit for me. Now this question I really like from Billy, and it's what inspired the name ZSquad? And the answer is really pretty simple. The Z stands for Zulu or Zulandin, the squad stands for all of you. So normally when people hear the word squad, they think of a small group of friends who stick together, support each other, and have each other's backs, right? Now that's exactly what I want for this community to become. Even if one day there is thousands or millions of us, I still want us to feel like one squad. A place where people support each other, they motivate each other, make friends, remind each other that nobody has to face life's struggles alone. That's the dream behind ZSquad. The thing is that I don't want just subscribers. I want a real community. I want a real family. Now this next question that I actually wrote down myself because I thought it would be really interesting for you guys. The question is, what's your biggest fear as a creator? Now honestly, the biggest fear isn't getting fewer views or losing subscribers. My biggest fear is losing this community. You've become such a big part of my life already, and every single day I hope I'm making videos that you all enjoy and that you want to keep coming back for. I really care about this community. I hope we continue growing together for years to come, because this journey wouldn't be the same without you. As a creator, that's what scares me the most, not being good enough for the people who believe in me. Now here's one more question that I wrote myself. What's one message you want every viewer to remember? Now if there's one thing I hope every single one of you remembers after watching my videos, it's this. Please never ever give up on yourself. Life will find a lot of ways to knock you down. People will doubt you. Sometimes even you will doubt yourself. But never let one bad day convince you that your future can be amazing. Even if you have a lot of bad days, remember, if you won't give up, then everything can still change. Progress is sometimes slow. Dreams take a lot of time. Success almost never happens overnight. Now the reason I make these videos is because I hope they motivate you in the same way other people motivate me. And I have to say, if even one video helped even one person to not give up and to keep on going, then everything I'm doing is worth it. Now this next question comes from Pixie, and she's asking, have you always liked green? Now the short answer would be yes, but come on, I think I need to say a little more than that, right? So back when I was a kid, one of the teachers gave us a task to write about our favorite color and explain what's the reason that we chose it. So that's the time I picked green. In general, since I was little, I was always attracted to the color green. So that day I wrote that green represents nature, peace, growth and life. It's also a very calming color. Whenever I look at nature, forests, green landscapes, I just feel relaxed. My teacher really liked my answer and gave me a very good grade that day. Ever since then, green always stayed my favorite color. I think it also represents my personality pretty well. It's really a color that when you look at it, you always feel relaxed. It feels really easy and good on your eyes. Now next question is from Double M. I hope I can call you that. Now Double M asked, are you always green? Do you change colors? Green, black or white? So to answer all of that, I have to say again, yes, green is definitely my favorite color. I also really love the combination of green with black and white. Another color combination that I really enjoy is orange with black and white. Of course, those are not the only colors that I like, but green has always been one of those colors that just represent me. Now another question from Billy was, is your accent Polish? And yes, my accent is Polish. I come from Poland and I live in Poland until this day. And I don't think there is a way for me to hide my accent. That's just the way it is. You guys will need to learn to live with it. Now every language has its own pronunciations, and Polish has quite a few sounds that simply don't exist in English. Now here's a fun fact if you didn't know about that. Polish is often considered one of the most difficult languages in the world to learn. So if anyone here is learning Polish, I wish you good luck. Now this question comes from Asia. To tell you the truth, I watch a lot of creators, but it really depends on what category are we talking about. You know, I like to watch technology channels, cooking, entertainment, music. It really depends on my mood at the time. But to tell you frankly, I don't think that I really have a favorite YouTuber overall. I mean, currently, most of the old YouTubers that I liked before, they stopped already their careers long time ago. So ever since those days, I just don't have a favorite one anymore. But I'll just change your question just a little bit. So, if you would ask me what my favorite VTuber is, that I can answer you for sure. And the answer is quite easy, it's Iron Mouse. Now, like I already said in the previous question, I would absolutely love to meet her, to talk with her, and to be friends with her. Maybe one day, if she'll notice me, who knows? That would be really fun. From what I see personally, I just don't see her as a fake person. I see that she's really trying to be real, and I really hate a lot of fakeness. You know, the internet is so full of fake people, and I really appreciate creators who stay true to themselves. They are not trying all the time very hard to make that, you know, fake persona. I really have enough of that, to tell you frankly. And that's also what I want for this channel, just to be myself, nothing fake, nothing forced, just me. And I really thank God and thank all of you that so far you are very positive and you really seem to enjoy me for just being me. So thank you very much for that. This question comes from Chris. Now listen up. One of my biggest hobbies for sure is learning new things. I like editing videos, photography, you know, anything related to cinema. I enjoy learning new skills, trying to improve all the time. Also, since little, I really seem to enjoy poetry. Now, from time to time, I used to write down some poems, although it's been a long time since the last time I really wrote a poem from beginning to finish. Another subject that I really like is psychology. I love understanding how people think and why they behave the way they do. I think that's also one of the reasons why so much of my content focuses on motivation and helping others. Because when I needed help myself, there was really nobody there for me. I had to motivate myself to keep moving forward. Maybe that's why helping people feels so important to me now. Now this question comes from Ryan. And let me tell you this, Ryan. Thank you very much for asking. And the question is everything alright now? Now it really means a lot to me that you cared enough to ask, and I want to answer you in the most honest way that I can for now, okay? So for the most part, yes, I'm okay. Things are better than they used to be, but they are really far away from perfect. Recently now, I've been through a lot of difficult experiences, and in general I had a lot of difficult experiences in my life. Now you may ask, what are those experiences? Some of them are definitely problems at school, problems with family, depression, being manipulated, being betrayed by people I trusted, feeling completely alone, having almost nothing and having to start over from zero. There are many stories that I simply cannot fit in this Q&A video. Maybe one day I'll make a video dedicated to my past. Now what do you guys think about that? I think that would be also a very nice video to make one day, that focuses only on my past, so that you know in details who is Zulu. And I think it's also something that all of you deserve, and I want to be transparent with you. I want you to really know who's the person behind the avatar. For now, just let me say this. Everything I've been through shaped the person that I am today. When I tell you to never give up, you know I'm not just saying it because it sounds nice. I'm saying it because I've lived through a lot of tough moments in my life, and there were times that I just didn't know how to continue. So when I say I understand, believe me that I truly mean it, and I really understand you. I understand the pain, the suffering, everything that you're going through, or if you went through in some point in your life. Now at the very end of this first Q&A, I wanted to have a little lighter accent, you know? And Billy asked one very fun question, and the question is, what's your favorite insect? And to tell you the truth, I have very mixed feelings when it goes to insects. There are some insects that I just really like, and there are some that I just hate with all of my gut. But I think in general, insects, you know, they are part of nature and they are very important. And for sure there is a lot of amazing insects. But personally, for me, my favorite insect is the ladybug. Now, here in Poland we have also a shop that's called Biedronka. And Biedronka is ladybug. When I was a kid, I used to always keep a lot of ladybugs. And I used to put them in jars, build like tiny homes for them, you know, create this environment that they can live in. Now the shop Biedronka is very famous in us, and you can say that a lot of Polish people like ladybugs. I also find ants very fascinating. Watching them work together, build their colonies, organize everything, they can really make some incredible tunnels and incredible structures. Now, one of the insects that I would really love to hold one day in my hands would be the rhinoceros beetle. You know, those giant beetles that have like a very strong, unbelievably strong, how do you call that? Shell? Yeah, shell, right? Yeah, one of those days I really hope that I can hold one in my hands. And I also like praying mantis. They are also very fascinating creatures. Although I have to say that I feel very sorry for them when it comes to mating. Let's just say that nature can be pretty brutal sometimes. You know, the part when the female wants to cut off the head of the male after their intimate moment. Yikes. Okay, now I think I said a little too much. That's not exactly the ending that I planned, but let's just pretend that it was, okay? Now I want to thank all of you so much for watching. And if you watched from beginning to the end, please at the end of your comment also 3 green hearts. It will mean a lot of me knowing that you watched really to the end. Thank you for being part of the ZSquad, and please always take care of yourselves. Keep chasing your goals and never give up. And I'll see you again in the next video very soon. And before you go, please leave in the comments what would you want to see in the next Q&A video. And you can leave even some of your questions directly under this video so that I can add them later to the next Q&A.